Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and I am redoing one of the most highly rated videos I've ever had on my channel, mostly because probably about 400,000 of you are new since I first made this video, and maybe you haven't seen it before. So I've got my nerd hat on, my propeller is spinning, and let's talk about what we're looking at here. So these are the statistics that tell us how rare given items are from care packages. And what I've done is I've sort of sorted them by how rare they are. Now there's a bunch of ties in there. You see a bunch of them show up like 3% of the time. But I've sorted them by how rare they are. And when you re-roll them, your odds of getting better stuff are a little bit higher. So for example, if you look at the second column there, the ammo comes up 20% of the time. 1 in every 5 rolls, or 1 in every 5 care packages, is going to have ammo. The spy plane and counter spy, they show up 15% of the time. But when you re-roll them, those lower kill streaks, I'll call them, are less common than they are in the initial roll, and they take some of those percentage points and distribute them to the higher stuff. Like for example, Blackbird, Napalm Strike. Those things are all 1% more likely than they would have been on your initial roll. Now, to break the tie, for example, Mortar Team and Sentry Gun, I have applied my own personal feeling on which one of these things is more valuable. So, you're free to disagree, but there you have it. Now, if you look at this, the third column there is whether you re-roll if you're going to get something that's better or worse. And all the way up through the Valkyrie rocket, if you re-roll, the odds are that you're going to get something better. So it's not that hard to remember, quite frankly. The better and worse column are just the inverse of each other. If you were to take the worst column, subtract it from 100, you would get the better. And another ground rule here is that when you re-roll, you don't get the same thing again. Now, I bet there's someone out there who found some sort of glitch in the system and they occasionally get the same thing twice. But according to Treyarch, that you're not supposed to be getting the same thing after you re-roll. I guess crazy things happen, but by and large, that's one of the rules built into the system. So so you might be thinking to yourself, all right, Woody, this is a lot to remember. What's the bottom line here? When do I re-roll this thing? And the answer is, if you have, I think instinctively everybody knows ammo, spy, counter spy, and RC car are kind of the weak sauce kill streaks, right? Sam Turret, I think you can throw in there too. So if you just think, all right, the weak things plus Valkyrie rocket, and I should re-roll. Anything else, I should just stick with what I have. So if you get a Napalm, if you get a Grim Reaper, if you get a Blackbird, then you know to keep those things. If you're getting an attack helicopter and you're like, should I go for better? No, you shouldn't. The attack helicopter is one of the more rare things to get in a care package. If you get that, just stick with it. and that's that. Now, I will admit there are situational things that might change your opinion. For example, if you're playing Sabotage and you have Valkyrie rockets in your pocket, then they can be really useful. From across the map, you can defend the bomb plant after somebody's landed it, and that counts for a whole lot. While on this chart, the Valkyrie rocket is I guess the best thing that falls in that less than 50%. Now it's 50-50. If you get a Valkyrie rocket, you might want to just stick with it either way. But for some like objective games, Valkyrie rocket, Mortar Team, those things are really useful. While I find that in Team Deathmatch, the Valkyrie rocket, the Mortar Team, they don't do a ton for me, especially the Valkyrie rocket. I find that I die while I'm trying to use the thing in Team Deathmatch because people are just all over the place. And even the mighty Napalm, which isn't a bad kill streak for Team Deathmatch, isn't as good as it would be in, say, Domination, where you really know where everybody is headed. Everyone's fighting for that B flag. You can drop it on a heavy lane of traffic and you're good to go. Another thing is the SAM turret. So if you're in the new Express playlist, the SAM turret might be extra valuable because so many people run UAV because so few people have Ghost. But in general, if you want one of the more rare things in the game, a Valkyrie rocket and lower, it's time to re-roll this thing. Mortar Team and higher, it's time to just be happy with what you got. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video, maybe even learned a little something from it. If you want to take a look at it more slowly now, it's probably the time to pause it because we're about to go into the next part of the vid. Okay, and now for 2 videos you may not have seen. On the left, I talk about Tourette syndrome and how it's impacted me, and Well, I'm kind of happy that I am the way I am. It's a pretty good video. I think it's the best one I made last week. And on the right, I think is the best video that I'll have from this week. It's the first video where I show my son Colin. I know I've talked about him on my channel a lot, but this is the first time you'll get to hear him talk. You'll get to see him do his thing. And the video's been super well received. A lot of guys have watched it. A lot of guys have liked it. It's been one of the top rated videos on YouTube, and it has a shot at being the top favorited video on YouTube and on the homepage. So if you like the video, then please consider giving it a favorite, because it would help me out a ton. And have a nice day. So I hope you pick one of those videos. I hope you pick the Colin one and favorite it. So have a nice day.